The scene starts and we see a woman entering in a furniture store and saw a man working there. The man greeted her with a good morning and asked if she want to order something. To which she replied yes and asked if he makes chairs as well. To which the man asked what kind of chair she want. The woman said that she want a soft one that can ease back pain while working, to which the man asked if she specifically come here to order a chair, to which the woman replied that she happened to pass by his store because of holiday and the chair issue has been bothering her for a while. The man then started to talk about how chairs are very important and how they support the weight of their owner, and choosing the wrong chair may cause damage to the body. And it's not entirely wrong to say that a chair may change the life of their owner. And he started to tell a story of how in Taisho era there was a chair that changed a person's destiny. But before he goes further in the story, he said that he want to show something which is hidden in a room that she need to see, which will play a great significance in story, and we see an old armchair. Oh, spooky. The man then asks if she ever heard of Tagawa Yoshiko? To which the woman says no. In response the man says all right and started to narrate the story. Tagawa Yoshiko was a renowned author in Taisho era. She was wife of Minister of Foreign Affairs, a stunning woman of fame and fortune. She received an astounding amount of fans' letter. One day she received an intriguing manuscript. There was no title and it was left anonymous. The script started with Madam, as if it was written to her. In the letter there was a story about an ugly carpenter burning passion, hiding himself in chair that he crafted, and describing his life in there. The chair was initially a part of inn but soon sold to an official, and he falls for the officer wife. Because the manuscript was written like a confession letter, Yoshiko was horrified, thinking it was written for her. But another letter soon arrived describing the manuscript to be made up, and Yoshiko was able to relax. Few days after, Yoshiko met with her editor, and the editor told that her story Bitter Medicine was a huge success and she is now more famous than her husband. And her another manuscript, Blooming Toward the Moon, also come in second place. To which Yoshiko asked which story got the first place, to which the editor answered Human Chair, the manuscript that Yoshiko sent, which she received as a letter. And the editor said that it was a unique piece of work and they are still looking for the author, and asked Yoshiko whether the author contacted Yoshiko or not, to which she declined. The scene changes and Yoshiko came home and sat on the armchair feeling annoyed that a newcomer won the first place, and closed her eyes as she was tired, but then she feels something from the chair. And scene changes and we see Yoshiko husband sitting on the chair and Yoshiko asking from where he did get this armchair, to which he answered from marketplace during sale. While trying to sleep, Yoshiko was frantically thinking about how the letter arrived the same day as chair, and how it could be a coincidence, but then she hears walking noise in the house and wake her husband to check. The noise was coming from the study room, and Yoshiko was scared, and when her husband asked what happened, she said to please check the armchair, dear, I think someone is living in it. To which the husband said, don't be ridiculous, it's a thief and he will catch him, and they enter the study room. To their surprise there was no one. And we see Yoshiko looking at the chair, and to our horror there was a face protruding out of the chair, which left us and Yoshiko horrified. She started screaming the chair was moving, inspect the chair, and the husband called workers to inspect the chair, but they said there was no one, to which Yoshiko said there has to be remove the leather. The husband became angry and to prove her wrong beat the chair with the sheathed sword and tell her that there was no movement despite being beaten mercilessly. Scene changes and we see husband going to work and Yoshiko receiving a letter which have the same handwriting as the previous letter. The letter stated, Madam, you haven't been sitting in your armchair lately. You don't know how lonely I've been. Also, when you cruelly hit me, do you know how painful that was? Your husband is too much, Madam, not because of the beating, but rather he is jealous of your career. I know, Madam, I know your work as a writer is more important than your husband. Beside, this armchair is essential item for your work. I know that when you allow yourself in my embrace and warmth and gentle hug bring the best out of you. Madam, your body can't live without mine and mine can't without yours. I only hope for the day when I and you become one. Yoshiko, terrified by the letter, threw the letter in horror. Man, we found the extreme peak of pervertness, be this or not be at all. Time change and we see husband is back home and getting angry that Yoshiko didn't greet him and tell her to write the novels in study room when he is not around and not blame the chair for her incompetency, and storm off to study room while Yoshiko stride behind him saying sorry dear. We now see husband sitting on the chair, his eyes wide. Something must have happened. Yoshiko come to the room and started apologizing and saying her writing condition isn't improving lately because of the worries. Because of no response from her husband, she shook him, but the husband fall flat on the floor dead with a puncture wound on the back, and we see a knife sticking out from the chair. Yoshiko, seeing this, screamed in horror. The police came and we see Yoshiko screaming and telling police, "Mister, please inspect the chair, there was a man in it, that man stabbed my husband." The policemen were, but regardless, checked the chair and found knife mark in chair and cut the chair from back, and much to our horror in a disgusting way, there was indeed traces of person living there, and the story end. And now we see the woman asking the man what happened to Tagawa Yoshiko, and he said that although police believed in her, the public was suspicious that she killed her husband. After this incident, Yoshiko's career was collapsed and she became mentally unstable and in the end disappear without a trace. And now we see woman asking if this chair could that be the one, to which man said that chair was detained and destroyed by the police, but this chair plays an important role in the story. And the man opened the back of the chair, and much to our disgustingly horror surprised, we see two dead bodies sitting inside the chair. The woman screamed, which was the obvious reaction, and we came to know that after the disappearance, Yoshiko went to live with the man in armchair, enjoying the rest of their lives. The man finally achieved her and she got everlasting happiness. And we came to know that they have children, and the man was one of the descendant. Pervert detected. The man then, with creepy eyes full of lust, asked the woman that isn't she Hazama Yasuho, a female author, and told her that he is a great fan of his work. And came to know that she is having trouble with her work, and assure her that as long as he make chair for her, she won't be having problem in the future. The women, terrified, run away from the store. Few days passed and we see the women in suffering from writer block and has been avoiding his editor for days, and during this period she also searched for Yoshiko Tagawa, and we came to know that she really exists in Taisho era, and the record of the armchair also exists. While figuring out ideas for novel, there was a knock on the door and we see delivery guys came to deliver a heavy chair. After recognizing it, the women terrifiedly scream and said she didn't order the chair, and we see something bulging from the back of the chair. If it would be me, I would have petrol the chair and burned down the freaking pervert.